Hello students, welcome all of you on my YouTube channel New Vision Physics Academy. Myself Amol Palve coming with a new video on a numericals from chapter number 1 Rotational Dynamics from Maharashtra State Board Physics textbook. So let's start the numerical or examples from chapter number 1, that is rotational dynamics. For this, please refer the textbook Maharashtra State Board Physics textbook. See the formulas given in the textbook, concepts given in the textbook. Watch essential videos which are available on our YouTube channel. So let's start. Numericals from chapter number 1 Rotational Dynamics from Maharashtra State Board Physics textbook standard 12. These numericals are available on the page number 23 or 24 in Maharashtra CET textbook, Maharashtra textbook. So please refer that book to see the example. So I will start first example here. So first example is the first example, that is example number 12, because before up to 11 number some theory questions are given in the textbook. So here question number 12 is written, but this is the first numerical which is asked in the textbook. So first, somehow an ant is stuck to the rim of a bicycle wheel of diameter 1 meter. While the bicycle is on a central stand, the wheel is set into rotation and it attains the frequency of 2 revolutions in 10 seconds with uniform angular acceleration. Calculate first number of revolutions completed by the ant in these 10 seconds, and second time taken by it for first complete revolution and the last complete revolution. So before study this example, request all of you, please take your notebook and note down the solution of this example with the video and try to solve it after the video. So here one example is given. Somehow an ant is stuck to the rim of bicycle wheel of diameter 1 meter. 1 meter diameter of bicycle wheel is there, and ant is stuck to the wheel, and while the bicycle on a central stand, means bicycle is raised but wheel is moving, the wheel set into rotation and it attains the frequency of 2 revolution per second in 10 seconds. Means after in 10 seconds the wheel attains the frequency of 2 revolution per second. Here the ant is stuck to the wheel, means simultaneously as wheel attains the frequency, ant also attains the same frequency, 2 revolution per second, and with uniform acceleration. So we have to calculate first number of revolutions completed by the ant in this 10 seconds. So how many number of revolution that wheel or that ant completes in 10 seconds, and second time taken by it for first complete revolution and the last complete revolution. So first note down the given things. So here the given things are, first we have to give the diameter of a bicycle wheel which is 1 meter. So from diameter we can determine the radius, therefore radius r is equal to 0.5 meter. Okay, then frequency is given, that is 2 revolution per second in 10 seconds. So after 10 seconds frequency is n is equal to 2 revolution per second, and we have to find out here first number of revolutions completed by the ant in this 10 seconds, then time taken by it for first revolution and time taken for the last revolution. Okay, so let's see what is the solution. Solution here, the ant is stuck to the rim of the wheel, hence revolutions completed by wheel will be same as that completed by the ant. या एक्झाम्पल मध्ये एक ant, एक इन्सेक्ट हा सायकलच्या व्हीलला स्टक कराय चिकटलेला आहे. जर तो सायकल व्हीलला स्टक आहे तर जेवढे रिव्हॉल्युशन सायकल व्हील कंप्लीट करेल तेवढेच रिव्हॉल्युशन अँट सुद्धा कंप्लीट करेल. सो हिअर वी कॅन राईट द अँट इज स्टक टू द रिम ऑफ द व्हील, hence revolutions completed by wheel will be same as that completed by the ant. Now from this, the frequency of the ant in 10 seconds is 2 revolutions per second. So n is given here. From n we know n is frequency and omega angular velocity is equal to 2 pi n. So here if we put the omega is equal to 2 pi n, then we get 2 into pi 2 pi. Because n is here 2, so put the value of n as 2, so 2 into 2 become 4, so omega is 4 pi radian per second. So this is the angular velocity, 4 pi radian per second. Now initially the wheel is at rest, means initial angular velocity is 0. After 10 seconds the angular velocity is 4 pi radian per second. So from this initial and final angular velocities are known, then laws of motion kinematical equation is used, and here in the example it is given that the acceleration is uniform. So from this if we use omega is equal to omega 0 plus alpha t, so from this where alpha is angular acceleration, so omega is equal to omega 0 plus alpha t, here omega is 4 pi, omega 0 0 plus alpha t is 10. So from this we can derive the value of alpha, and that is 0.4 pi radian per second square. So first alpha is equal to angular acceleration is equal to 0.4 pi radian per second square. So from this first we have to derive the number of revolution completed. Now for the number of revolution completed, to calculate the number of revolution, we have to first find out theta. Theta is angular displacement, because in one revolution angular displacement is 2 pi. So if we know theta, the value of theta, then from this we can calculate the number of revolutions. So for this use kinematical equations here. Theta is equal to omega 0 t plus half alpha t square. So put the value as is equal to omega 0 is 0, so 0 into t becomes 0 plus half into alpha is what, 0.4 pi into t square, that is 10 square. If we solve it, then we get theta is equal to 20 pi radian. So see here, total theta is equal to 20 pi radian. We know the angular displacement completed in one revolution is 2 pi. So when in one revolution theta is equal to 2 pi, then if theta is equal to 20 pi, how many revolutions are there? So we have to divide this theta by 2 pi, then we get the number of revolutions completed by the wheel or by the ant. Then hence number of revolutions will be n, capital N, theta is equal divided by 2 pi, that is 20 pi upon 2 pi, and that is equal to 10 revolutions. So in 10 seconds that ant will complete 10 revolutions here. So this is the solution. Why we divide theta by 2 pi? Because in one revolution theta is equal to 2 pi. So total in one revolution theta is 2 pi, theta is 20 pi. So how many revolutions are there? So 20 pi divided by 2 pi, we get 10 revolutions. Now for first revolution we have to calculate derive the time for first revolution, and in first revolution part when an ant complete one revolution, the total distance covered will be 2 pi, that is angular displacement. So 2 pi is equal to, that is theta is equal to, again same formula is used here, theta is equal to omega 0 t plus half alpha t square. Here t instead of t, time for first revolution, hence t1 is used. So 2 pi is equal to 0 into t, that is 0 plus 1 upon 2 into 0.4 pi into t1 square. What is t1 here? t1 is the time required for first revolution. And which equation is this? How we get this equation? This is the equation for theta. Theta is equal to omega 0 t plus half alpha t square. The same equation is used here. So from this, if we rearrange it, if we solve it, we get T1 square is equal to 10. Then taking square root on both sides, T1 is equal to root 10 second, and that is the square root of 10 is 3.16. So the answer T1 is equal to 3.16 seconds. So that is the time required to complete first revolution. So first revolution, to complete the first revolution, the time is 3.16 seconds. Now it takes 10 seconds to complete 10 revolutions. Okay, the time for first revolution is 3.16 seconds. Now hence we have to find out the time for last revolution. Last means 10th revolution. So the time taken for 10th revolution is the total time minus time taken for 9 revolution. So here total time is given, that is 10 seconds, but time taken for 9 revolution is not given. So first we have to derive the time taken for 9 revolution, and to calculate the time taken for 9 revolutions, again 9 into 2 pi is equal to 0 plus 1 by 2 into 0.4 pi into T9 square, where 9 into 2 pi means what? 2 pi is the angular displacement, that is theta in 1 revolution. Here total revolutions are 9, so total displacement is 9 into 2 pi. So here 9 into 2 pi means theta is there. Omega 0 t, again omega 0 is 0, so omega 0 t is 0, plus half as it is. 0.4 pi is the value of alpha, and T9 is the time taken to complete 9 revolution. So T9 square, T square is T9 square here. If we solve it, we get T9 square is equal to 90, and taking the square root on both sides, so T9 is equal to under root 90, and that is equal to 9.487 seconds. So this is the time for 9 revolution. We know the time for 10 revolution. So the time taken for last, that is the 10th revolution, is 10 minus time taken for 9 revolution. So hence time taken for 10th revolution is equal to 10 minus 9.487 seconds. What is 9.487? That is the time for 9 revolution, and total time is 10. So if we subtract time taken for 9 revolution from total time, we get the time taken for 10th, that is last revolution, and that is 0.513 seconds. So from this we get third answer. So three answers are: first we have to calculate the ant will complete 10 revolution in 10 seconds. So in 10 seconds total 10 revolutions are completed. The time taken for first revolution is 3.16 seconds. Time taken for last complete revolution is 0.513 seconds. So note down this example in your notebook. Let's see second example. Example number 13. Coefficient of static friction between a coin and a gramophone disc is 0.5. Radius of the disc is 8 cm. Initially, the center of the coin is pi centimeter away from the center of the disc. At what minimum frequency will it start slipping from there? By what factor will the answer change if the coin is almost at the rim? So let's take a given here. First given is coefficient of static friction between the coin and a gramophone disc is 0.5. So mu is equal to 0.5 here. Now we have to give the radius of the disc is 8 cm. So see in diagram, capital R is the radius of the disc, which is 8 cm. So capital R radius of the disc is 8 cm. So convert this centimeter into meter. So 8 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Now distance of the center of the coin from the center of the disc. Now initially the center of the coin is at pi centimeter away from the center of the disc, and that distance we note down here from by R. So small r is equal to pi centimeter, and that is equal to 3.142 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Now minimum frequency will it start slipping, that is N1 we have to calculate it here, and second one during the, so first N1 is to calculate here. So what is the minimum frequency will it start slipping above which the coin starts slipping, and that frequency n1 we have to calculate here. So during the rotation, the coin is slipping away from the center of the circle. When that disc shown in the diagram by blue color, if the disc start to rotate, then that coin is start to slip away from the center of the circle. We know according to circular motion, the coin is balanced on the disc by the force which is directed towards the center of the circle, and that is called centripetal force. So the coin rotates with the disc only when the frictional force provides the necessary centripetal force. We know frictional force is what? Mu mg. F is F or denoted by F, and centripetal force is mr omega square. Now frictional force is F is equal to mu mg, so mu mg is equal to mr omega square. Now get cancel, omega square is equal to mu g upon r. Now put the value mu as 0.5 into g pi square upon r pi into 10 raised to minus 2. Now given g is equal to pi square is given there, so we put g is equal to pi square. Now from this again we know we have to calculate the frequency, and we know omega is equal to 2 pi n. So omega is 2 pi n. Now omega square becomes 4 pi square n1 square. So put the value of omega here. 4 pi square n1 square is equal to 0.5 into pi square upon pi into 10 raised to minus 2. Now from this, if we solve it, we get n1 square is equal to 0.5 upon 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 2. That is n1 square is equal to 3.978, and hence n1 is equal to 1.99, approx calculated, write it as a 2 hertz. So the minimum frequency is 2 hertz. If the frequency of coin is 2 hertz, then coin is not slipped from the disc. But if the frequency is greater than this, then coin start to slip. Now next, now the coin is at the rim of the disc. Now shift the coin from pi centimeter to the rim or edge of the disc. Means small r becomes capital R here. That is small r is equal to capital R, and that is equal to 8 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Now frictional force is equal to centripetal force. Again we know it. So frictional force is mu mg, F is equal to mr omega square. Again mu mg is equal to mr omega square. Then get cancel, omega square is equal to mu g upon r. If we put the value 0.5 into g is pi square, so that value is put here. Now into r upon r 8 into 10 raised to minus 2, where g is equal to pi square is given. Then again put omega is equal to 2 pi, but now new frequency, that is n2 is there. So square of that omega is 2 pi, omega is equal to 2 pi n. So square is 4 pi n2 square. So 4 pi square n2 square is equal to 0.5 into pi square upon 8 into 10 raised to minus 2. So from this n2 square is equal to 0.5 upon 4 into 8 into 10 raised to minus 2, and we know we get n2 square is equal to 100 upon 64. So taking square root on both sides, we get n2 is equal to 10 upon 8, that is 1.25 hertz. So n1 and n2 is here, and n1 is 2 hertz, n2 is 1.25 hertz. So let the answer will be changed by the factor x. So consider the answer will be changed by the factor x, means n1 is 2 and n2 is 1.25. So n1 to n2 it is changed by the factor x. So here we have to determine this x, and for this take the ratio, consider n2 is equal to x n1. Now x is equal to n2 upon n1, that is equal to 1.25 upon 2, that is 0.6, and from this we get n2 is equal to 0.6 n1. So the answers are: first, minimum frequency will it start slipping n is equal to n1 is equal to 2 hertz and n2 is equal to 0.6 n1. But if we observe the answer of this example in textbook, then it is given as n1 is 2.5 revolution per second and n2 is equal to 1 upon 2 n1. The answer is correct, but if the small r is taken as 2 centimeter instead of pi centimeter. In textbook, pi centimeter is given. If we take small r as a pi centimeter, then the correct answer is 2 hertz, n1 is equal to 2 hertz and n2 is equal to 0.6 n1. But if we take instead of pi 2 centimeter is there, then the answer is 2.5 revolution per second and n2 is equal to 1 upon 2 n1. टेक्स्टबुक मध्ये जे दिलेले आन्सर आहे ते जर बरोबर हवे असतील किंवा त्याला जर तुम्ही बरोबर कन्सिडर करत असाल तर दिलेल्या एक्झाम्पल मध्ये r ची व्हॅल्यू 2 पुट करायची, पाय पुट करायची नाही, स्मॉल r ची व्हॅल्यू. जर तुम्ही स्मॉल r ची व्हॅल्यू पाय पुट केली तर आपण सॉल्व केलेले आपण काढलेले आन्सर बरोबर आहेत. आणि जर स्मॉल r ची व्हॅल्यू 2 सेंटीमीटर कन्सिडर केली तर टेक्स्टबुक मध्ये दिलेले आन्सर बरोबर आहे. तुम्ही परत स्मॉल r ची व्हॅल्यू 2 सेंटीमीटर घेऊन आन्सर सोडवून बघा, एक्झाम्पल सोडवून बघा, तुम्हाला टेक्स्टबुक मध्ये दिलेले आन्सर मिळतील. जर पाय सेंटीमीटर घेणार असाल तर आपण कॅल्क्युलेट केलेले आन्सर हे बरोबर असतील. सो चला थर्ड एक्झाम्पल घेऊ. एक्झाम्पल क्वेश्चन एक्झाम्पल नंबर 40. पार्ट of a racing track is to be designed for a curvature of 72 meter. We are not recommending the vehicle to drive faster than 216 km per hour. With what angle should the road be tilted? By what height will its outer edge be with respect to the inner edge if the track is 10 meter wide? Now part of racing track. Now this is the example here. Now let's see what are the given here. Part of racing track is to be designed for curvature of 72 meter. So that is the radius of curvature is given here, r is equal to 72 meter. We are not recommending the vehicle to drive faster than 216 km per hour. Means on that curvature or road the maximum speed limit is 216 km per hour. So Vmax is equal to 216 km per hour. So kilometer per hour is converted into meter per second. So multiplied by 5 by 18, kilometer per hour to meter per second multiplied by 5 by 18, we get 60 meter per second. Now we have to again one thing is given, width of track is 10 meter and we have to calculate or we have to find here with what angle should the road be tilted, that is the theta or angle of banking is and second by what height will its outer edge be, means the height of outer edge, that is edge to be calculated. Let's see the answer. Now here first for angle of banking, the angle of banking is given by theta is equal to tan inverse of v square upon rg. Now v square maximum speed is given, radius is given and g is acceleration due to gravity. So put the value tan inverse of 60 square upon 72 into 10. We get tan inverse of 3600 upon 72 into 10, that is tan inverse of 5 and tan inverse of 5 is 78.69 degree. So this is the value of angle of banking theta. Very easy example is here. Theta, the formula for theta is tan inverse of v square upon rg and from this we determine the value of angle of banking, that is theta. Now next we have to determine the height. Now h is equal to, we know width of the road is w, h is height, so h is equal to w sin theta, that is the elevation of road. If we put the value h is equal to 10 into sine of theta is 78.69 degree. So sine 78.69 is 0.9805. So if we put here we get h is equal to 9.805 meter and hence the height is 9.805 meter. So answers are angle should the road be tilted, that is angle of banking theta is equal to 78.69 degree and second one height of outer edge h is equal to 9.805 meter. Now next question number 15, next example is there. The road in the question number 14, means last example, is constructed as per requirements. Those requirements are given in the question number 14. So by using that requirement, radius of curvature, width of road, maximum speed, that are constant here. The coefficient of static friction between the tires of vehicle on this road is 0.8. Will there be any lower speed limit, and by how much can the upper speed limit exceed in this case? So here given data from question number 14, some data is taken here, that is radius of curvature R is 72 meter, angle of banking which is derived in question number 14, that is 78.69 degree. The coefficient of static friction between the tires of vehicle and a road surface, that is mu is equal to 0.8 is given here. G is 9.8. We have to find out the lower speed limit, that is V minimum, and upper speed limit, that is V maximum. So here two formulas are required here, V minimum, that is lower speed limit, and upper speed limit. So let's see the solution of this example. First we have to find out the lower possible speed on this road is. Now for lower possible speed, V minimum is equal to under root Rg in bracket tan theta minus mu s upon 1 plus mu s tan theta. लोअर लिमिटसाठीचे जे फॉर्म्युले आहेत, लोअर लिमिट किंवा अप्पर लिमिटचे जे फॉर्म्युले, हे जर फॉर्म्युले बघायचे असतील तर याच आपल्या यूट्यूब चॅनलवर मी या अगोदर एक सर्क्युलर मोशनमधला वेल ऑफ डेथ आणि अँगल ऑफ बँकिंगशी रिलेटेड, बँक रोडशी रिलेटेड एक व्हिडिओ टाकलेला आहे. तो व्हिडिओ बघा, त्यातलेच फॉर्म्युले आपण याच्यामध्ये यूज करतोय. सो त्या व्हिडिओची लिंक मी खाली डिस्क्रिप्शनमध्ये देईल. जर ते फॉर्म्युले लक्षात नसतील तर ते फॉर्म्युले बघा, त्याच्यावरचं हे एक्झाम्पल आहे. व्ही मिनिमम इज इक्वल टू अंडर रूट आर जी tan theta minus mu s upon 1 plus mu s tan theta. Now put the value which are given here. Theta is given, r is given, g is also given, mu s is given. So all values are given for the v minimum here. Now put the value. V minimum is equal to under root 72 into 10 into tan of 78.69 minus 0.8 upon 1 plus 0.8 into tan of 78.69. Now tan 78.69, that is 5. So under root 720 into 5 minus 0.8 upon 1 plus 0.8 into 5. So if we solve it, we get under root 604.8. If we take the square root of this, we get 24.59 meter per second. But we have to find out the answer in kilometer per hour. So multiplied by 18 upon 5. So 24.59 into 18 upon 5, we get 88.52 kilometer per hour. That is the lower speed limit. Now V minimum is calculated here. V minimum is equal to 88.52 kilometer per hour. Now we have to calculate the upper limit. But here if we observe the theta, that theta is greater than 45 degree, and in the concept of angle of banking, one condition is there. If for maximum speed, if theta is greater than 45 degree, then there is no any upper limit for the speed, that is V max is equal to infinity. And here in this second example, theta is greater than 45 degree, it means that there is no upper limit for the speed on this road. So answers are V minimum is 88.52 kilometer per hour, and second one, there is no upper limit for the speed on this road. Now let's take next example. Question number 16. During a stunt, a cyclist is undertaking horizontal circle inside a cylindrical well of radius 6.05 meter. If necessary coefficient of friction 0.5, how much minimum speed should the stunt artist maintain? Mass of the artist is 50 kg. If she or he increases the speed by 20%, how much will be the force of friction? Now this is the example of well of death. Given data is during a stunt, A cyclist is undertaking horizontal circle inside a cylindrical well of radius 6.05 meter. So first radius of well small r is equal to 6.05 meter. Then coefficient of friction mu is equal to 0.5. Mass of artist 50 kg. To find, we have to find here minimum speed, that is how much minimum speed should the stunt artist maintain, and how much will the force of friction if she or he increases the speed by 20%. Now let's see the answer here. We know this is the condition for well of death, and in case of well of death, to maintain the to drive on a vehicle or to perform a stunt, the minimum velocity in well of death is V minimum is equal to under root rg upon mu. Once again, जर हा फॉर्म्युला कुठून आला हे बघायचं असेल तर माझा वेल ऑफ डेथ साठीचा जो व्हिडिओ आहे तो नक्की बघा. हाही फॉर्म्युला आपण त्याच्यामध्ये प्रोव्हाइड केलाय. मी याची लिंक तुम्हाला डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्समध्ये पण प्रोव्हाइड करेल, आणि कॉर्नरला तुम्हाला जे आय बटन मिळतंय त्या आय बटनवर जर तुम्ही क्लिक केलं तर त्यामध्ये तुम्हाला याची लिंक ही मिळणार आहे. व्ही मिनिमम इज इक्वल टू अंडर रूट आर जी अपॉन म्यू. सो पुट द व्हॅल्यूज हिअर. If we put r as a 6.05 into g 10 upon mu 0.5, the answer is under root 121, that is 11 meter per second. In well of death, the force 11 meter per second, this is the minimum frequency that stunt artist should maintain to perform a stunt in well of death. But in case of well of death, the force of friction is depend on weight of the body or weight of particle. Hence from this we get F is equal to Fs, that is equal to mg, and that is equal to 50 into 10, that is F is equal to 500 Newton. So in well of death, the force of friction is only depend upon the weight of a body or particle. Here that weight of body is 500 Newton. Here the weight of body is 500 Newton, and we are here given is how much will the force of friction be if she or he increase the speed by 20%. So note down here, the total force is 500 because the force of friction is depend upon weight of body and not on the velocity of the body or particle. So if that stuntman increases its speed, the force of friction does not affected because the force of friction is independent. The force of friction is depend upon weight of the body, and that is 500 Newton. Means if the speed is increased, though the speed is increased by 20%, that force of friction is unaffected. So the weight is how much? 500 Newton, and that weight provides the necessary force of friction. So next example, question number 17, example number 17. A pendulum consisting of a massless string of length 20 centimeter and a tiny bob of mass 100 gram is set up as a conical pendulum. Its bob now performs 75 rpm revolution per minute. Calculate kinetic energy and increase in gravitational potential energy of the bob. Use pi square is equal to 10. So here the given data is, first L is equal to 20 centimeter or 0.2 meter. So first the massless string is there and the length of string is 20 centimeter, which is here. Mass of bob, tiny bob is there, and the mass of that tiny bob is 100 gram. So small m is equal to 100 gram, that is 0.1 kg. Small g is 10. Now n is that bob performs 75 revolution per minute. So convert that rpm into rps by dividing it by 60. So 75 rpm is equal to 75 upon 60, that is equal to 1.25 rps. Now pi square is given here also. Pi square is equal to 10. Now we have to find out here, first kinetic energy of conical pendulum, and second increase in gravitational potential energy of the bob. Let's see the answer. As we have here, The example is from the concept of conical pendulum there, and we have to derive the kinetic energy. Now here, as we have omega square is equal to g upon L cos theta. In case of conical pendulum, we know the formula for omega. Omega square is equal to g upon L cos theta. Now put here, frequency is given here, so omega is equal to 2 pi n. So put that value, omega is equal to 2 pi n, bracket square is equal to g is 10 upon L, L is 0.2 and cos theta. So from this, cos theta is equal to 10 upon 0.2 into 4 pi square into 1.25 square. So hence cos theta is equal to 10 upon 0.2 into 4 into 10 into 1.5625, 1.25 square is there. So we get cos theta is equal to 0.8. So here we get cos theta is equal to 0.8. So from omega square, first we determine the cos theta here. Now from cos theta, the value of theta is cos inverse of 0.8. Now that is theta is equal to 36 degree 44 minute. So theta, first we determine the value of theta here. Theta is equal to 36 degree 44 minute. Now first, here we have to ask the kinetic energy of conical pendulum. Kinetic energy is equal to 1 upon 2 mv square, that is equal to 1 upon 2, put v as a r omega, because in conical pendulum the metal bob performs circular motion, horizontal circle in a horizontal circular path. So in case of circular motion, v is equal to r omega, so put the value of v as a r omega, and that is square. So put here r is also here L sin theta. In case of conical pendulum, r is equal to L sin theta is here. So for this theta is required here, so theta is 36 degree 44 minute. Now put this value here, we get 1 by 2 into 0.1 into 0.2 into sine of 36 degree 44 minute into the value of omega is 2 pi n, that is square. Now sine 36 degree 44 minute is 0.5981, and the bracket square means 0.5981 square is there. Now 0.2 square is 0.04, 2 pi n, that is 2 square is 4, pi is pi square, and n square again 1.25 square. If we solve it, we get kinetic energy is equal to 0.04472 joule. So this is the kinetic energy which we have to calculate here. Now second, we have to calculate the increase in the gravitational potential energy of the bob. Change in height of the bob can be given as, here the height of bob is changed because at reference position and at extreme position the height of bob is changed, and that change in height is given by h is equal to L minus L cos theta. So to study this, refer conical pendulum. We get how this formula is there, so we understand from the concept of conical pendulum there. So a change in potential energy is mgh. So here h is equal to L minus L cos theta, so put mg in bracket L minus L cos theta. Delta p, that is change in potential energy, is equal to mg, L is common, 1 minus cos theta is there. Put the value here, the value of m is 0.1, g is 10, L is 0.2, and theta cos theta is 0.8 as we determine. So delta p is 0.1 into 10 into 0.2 into 0.2. We get the change in potential energy as 0.04 joule. So here the answers are: kinetic energy is 0.04472 joule, potential energy is 0.04 joule. So these are the answers. So note down here, in case of conical pendulum, this example is related to conical pendulum. Two formulas we used here. First we use omega square, then kinetic energy. For potential energy, again two formulas are used here. One is for h, that is height of bob can be changed, and second one is change in potential energy. Next example is, a motorcyclist as a particle is undergoing vertical circles inside a sphere of death. The speed of the motorcycle varies between 6 meter per second and 10 meter per second. Calculate diameter of the sphere of death how much minimum value are possible for these two speeds. Here again the example of sphere of death is here. Now the given data, see, a motorcycle cyclist is undergoing vertical circle. So this is the vertical circle in which that motorcycle is moving. The speed of motorcycle varies from 6 meter per second and 10 meter per second. So calculate the diameter of sphere of death. We have to calculate this diameter AB here. Now here, let's see VA, that is the velocity at A. We know in vertical circular motion, the velocity is maximum at lowest point and the maximum velocity is 10 meter per second. So the lowest point is 10 and VB is 10 meter per second. VA is 6 meter per second. Diameter, we have to determine the diameter and how much minimum values are possible for these two speeds. So V minimum is there. Now both VA minimum, VB minimum, because how much minimum values are possible for these two speeds. Here the variation in speed is given, but for both the point the minimum speed is asked here. So equation at point A, the point A is upper point or highest point in case of vertical circular motion. The tension at highest point, so see here at highest point the weight of particle is downward towards the center, tension is also towards the center, and this force is away from the center. So from this tension is equal to, we know in case of vertical circular motion the required centripetal force, that is the tension in the string, is equal to the required centripetal force is addition of mg and tension. So tension is equal to, tension at A is equal to centripetal force minus weight, that is mva square upon r minus mg. Equation at B, at lowest point, similarly we can write TB is equal to mvb square upon r plus mg. We know tension at highest point is lower and tension at lowest point is higher. Now this is the equation 2, this is equation 1. So divide equation 2 by equation, subtract equation 2 from 1, we get TB minus TA is equal to mvb square upon r plus mg minus mva square upon r plus mg. Now here put the value TB minus TA, 60 m, that is the difference in tension, 60 m is equal to 100 m upon r plus 10 m minus 36 m upon r plus 10 m. Here m is the mass of the particle which is unknown here. So take m is common from both sides and cancel it. We get 60 is equal to 64 upon r plus 20. If we solve it, take the m is common, get cancel and solve it. So 64 upon r, 100 minus 36, 64, 10 plus 10, 20, and this 60, m is cancel. So 60 is equal to 64 upon r plus 20. From this 40r is equal to 64 and we get r is equal to 1.6 meter. Sorry, 1.6 meter. So this r is equal to 1.6 meter. But we have to calculate here what diameter is, and diameter is equal to 2 into radius. So diameter is equal to 2 into r, that is 2 into 1.6, that is equal to 3.2 meter. So first we determined 3.2 meter, that is the diameter. Now we know what is the minimum velocity. We know the point A is highest point and the velocity, minimum velocity in vertical circular motion at highest point is VA minimum is equal to under root RG. So if we put here our minimum possible speed at A is when TA is equal to 0, that is tension at A is 0, highest point the tension is 0, VA minimum is equal to under root RG. So in equal to under root R is 1.6 into 10, so we get 1.6 into 10, that is VA minimum is equal to under root 16, that is 4 meter per second. So VA minimum velocity at highest point is what? 4 meter per second. Now similarly B point is lowest point and the possible speed at lowest point is what? The possible speed at lowest point is under root 5 Rg. So if we put the value of 5 Rg, we get 80 under root 80 here, and that is VB minimum is equal to 4 under root 5 meter per second. So here in this case we have to determine three quantities here. So first we take the formulas for tension. From tension we calculate the diameter, and for this we use the formula for tension at highest point, formula for tension at lowest point. Subtract these two, we get the diameter here from R, and from R we derive the diameter here. Then minimum possible speed at a VA is highest point, and minimum speed at highest point is under root RG, and minimum speed at B is lowest point, that is speed at minimum possible speed at lowest point V minimum, VB is under root 5 RG. So let's take next example. 19 number. A metallic ring of mass 1 kg has a moment of inertia 1 kg meter square. When rotating about one of its diameters, it is molten and remolded into a thin uniform disc of the same radius. How much will its moment of inertia be when rotated about its own axis? या एक्झाम्पल मध्ये एक रिंग दिली आहे, त्या रिंगला मोल्टन करून रिमोल्ड करून त्याच्यापासून डिस्क बनवली जाते. रिंगच्या क्वांटिटी दिलेल्या आहे आणि रिंगच्या क्वांटिटी येऊन त्याच्यापासून जी डिस्क बनेल त्या डिस्कचा मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया काढायचा आहे. सो बघूया गिवन. सो गिवन डाटा इज मास ऑफ रिंग दॅट इज 1 kg, moment of inertia of a ring 1 kg meter square about its diameter is given here. Then ring, the moment of inertia of ring is given, the moment of inertia of disc is to be determined. Now the moment of inertia of a ring about its diameter I ring is equal to 1 upon 2 mr square. Now if we put the values and calculate the r, then the formula for r is equal to under root 2 I for I upon m, that is moment of inertia of ring upon m, which is given 1, m is 1, so r is equal to root 2. Now from this ring, mold this ring and remold it into a uniform disc. So moment of inertia of uniform disc along its own axis is I disc is equal to 1 upon 2 mr square. Now 1 upon 2 into 1 and r is equal to root 2. If we put this value, we get I disc is equal to 1 kg meter square. So here the most important thing is only that the ring is molten and then remolded into a thin uniform disc. So ring is equal to disc. So moment of inertia of both are same. Now next example, question number 20. A big dumbbell is prepared by using a uniform rod of 60 gram, mass 60 gram and length 20 centimeter. Two identical solid sphere of mass 50 gram and radius 10 centimeter each are at the two end of the rod. Calculate moment of inertia of the dumbbell when rotated about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its length. Now given data is here. A big dumbbell is prepared by using a uniform rod of mass 60 gram. So mass of rod is 60 gram. Length of rod is given. Mass of sphere is also given here 50 gram. Length of rod is 20 centimeter and radius is 10 centimeter. So the distance is D L by 2 plus R is equal to 10 plus 10 is equal to 20 centimeter. What is the distance D? It is shown in diagram. D is the distance from the center to the axis of rotation. So here center of sphere is this, so radius is 10 centimeter and this distance is 10 centimeter. So this two 10 plus 10 is equal to 20 centimeter. And now here we have to determine the moment of inertia of this whole system. So moment of inertia of the system is, so system means dumbbells, the rod and two sphere, that is the total dumbbells. So the moment of inertia of rod plus moment of inertia of first sphere plus moment of inertia of second sphere. But these two spheres are same, so 2 into moment of inertia of sphere. So I is equal to I rod plus 2I sphere. Now if we put the values, moment of inertia of rod is m rod L square upon 12 plus moment of inertia of sphere is m sphere into d square, where d is the distance of center from point from axis of rotation. Now if we put the value 60 into 20 square upon 12, 60 is the mass of rod, sphere mass of sphere is 50, so here is 50, d is 20, we get 2000 plus 40,000, that is 42,000, gram per centimeter square. Here note down one thing, the answer is in CGS unit. So we put the CGS value here. We here no value is converted into SI unit. All are in the CGS unit, and hence the answer is also in CGS unit. So the next example, question number 21. A flywheel used to prepare earthenware pots is set into a rotation at 100 rpm. It is in the form of disc of mass 10 kg and radius 0.4 meter. A lump of clay to be taken equivalent to a particle of mass 1.6 kg falls on it and adheres to it at a certain distance x from the center. Calculate x of the wheel if the wheel now rotates at 80 rpm. Now here a flywheel is prepared. Initially that flywheel is rotated at 100 rpm. Now a lump of clay is fall on the flywheel and stick to it, whose mass is 1.6 kg is given. Now the due to that lump of clay, the rotation is reduced and it becomes 80 rpm. Now we have to calculate the distance of that lump of clay from center. So see, here first N1 frequency is given 100 rpm. Convert that rpm into second, that is 100 upon 60. Now after the lump of clay fall on the flywheel, the rotation becomes 80. So N2 is equal to 80 rpm, that is 80 upon 60 rps. Now mass of disc is given here 10 kg. Mass of clay is given 1.6 kg. Radius of disc is 0.4 meter. So consider this is flywheel, and here the lump of clay is here, which is at a distance of x from O, and we have to determine this x. Now angular momentum is conserved here before a lump of clay fall on the flywheel and after. So before and after a lump of clay fall on the flywheel. So angular momentum after is equal to angular momentum before, that is I2 omega 2 is equal to I1 omega 1. 2 means after the fall of lump of clay and 1 means before the fall of lump of clay. Now here after what happened, here are two bodies are there, one is disc and other is clay. So the moment of inertia is the addition of two, moment of inertia of disc plus moment of inertia of clay into omega 2 is 2 pi n2 is equal to I disc, because before only flywheel is there, only disc is there. So moment of inertia of disc into 2 pi n1. Here 2 pi same get cancel. We get I disc plus I clay into 80 upon 60 is equal to I disc into 100 upon 60. If we simplify it, we get I clay is equal to I disc into 5 by 4 minus I disc. How it is simplified here? If we multiply this 80 upon 60 goes here, 60 get cancel, then 100 upon 80 divided by 20, we get 5 by 4. So I clay is equal to I disc 5 by 4 minus I disc. So I clay is equal to I disc upon 4. M disc into I disc means moment of inertia of disc is mr square upon 2. So M disc into r square upon 2 and 4 is as it is. So mass of disc. Now here moment of inertia of clay is there. Moment of inertia is mr square. Here r is x. So mass of clay into x square is equal to mass of disc is 10. R is 0.4 square upon 8. So 1.6 upon 8. So x square is equal to 1.6 upon 8 into mass of clay. Mass of clay is 1.6. So 1.6 get cancelled. We get 1 upon 8, and hence x is equal to, taking square root on both sides, under root 1 upon 8, which is 0.35 meter, which is the required answer here. Now next example. Starting from rest, an object rolls down along an incline that rises by 3 meter in every 5 meter along it. The object gains a speed of root 10 meter per second as it travels a distance of 5 by 3 meter along the incline. What can be the possible shape of the object? So let's note down the given first. In given, height is given 3 meter. Total path is of 5 meter, so displacement is 5 meter. Velocity is given here root 10 meter per second. So let's draw a diagram from this situation. Here this one is the h height, this is the total distance 5 meter, and when up to 3 meter is there, then it is inclined, and at 3 meter the speed is root 10 meter per second. And given when the speed is root 10 meter per second, the object is travelled or cover the distance of 5 by 3 meter here. Now if this inclined plane is inclined by theta and this is horizontal space shape, then right angle triangle is here. So in given right angle triangle, if we take the sin theta is equal to h upon s, that is 3 upon 5, that is 0.6. But as we observe in this right angle triangle and take a distance s dash, that is 5 by 3 meter, second right angle triangle is there, and in this triangle we also use sin theta, but here sin theta is h dash upon s dash. S dash is 5 by 3, but this distance h dash is not given, and which is determined here by using when object cover linear distance s dash is equal to 5 by 3, the vertical height h dash can find out by using sin theta in the small triangle. If we use sin theta is equal to 0.6 is equal to h dash upon s dash, but h dash is what, 5 by 3, so h dash is equal to 0.6 into 5 upon 3, so h dash is equal to 1 meter. And using expression of final velocity, if this h dash is 1 meter, then on inclined plane, when body is rolled over the inclined plane, then the expression for final velocity v is equal to under root 2 gh dash upon 1 plus k square upon r square. That is the case of rolling motion here. This is special in rotational dynamic. One topic is there, rolling motion. So for this formula, watch the video of rolling motion also. We next video I will explain this about rolling motion and how this formula is derived here, but use it here. V in case of rolling motion, v is equal to under root 2 gh dash upon 1 plus k square upon r square. If we put v is equal to root 10 into 2, g is 10 into 1 upon 1 plus k square upon r square. If we simplify it, taking square on both sides, 1 plus k square upon r square, this become 10, this become 20, so 2 is here. So 1 plus k square upon r square is equal to 2, that is k square upon r square is equal to 1. This k square upon r square in rotational dynamics, one concept is there, that is k, that is radius of gyration is there. And if we take the ratio of square of radius of gyration to the square of radius, then it is 1, and if this ratio is 1, then the body must be a ring or a cylinder, hollow cylinder is there. So as the factor k square upon r square is equal to 1, that means the rolling object along the inclined plane must be a ring or hollow cylinder. So for this you have to remember this, k square upon r square is equal to 1, then that is k is equal to r, and radius of gyration is equal to actual radius. It is only for ring or hollow cylinder is there. So these are the total all examples, unsolved examples from chapter number 1, rotational dynamics. Take a notebook, note down all the examples, because these examples are important for Maharashtra State Board 12th exam. So though you have any difficulty, ask me anytime, comment me. If you like the video, then please press like. Those students who watch the video first time, who visit my channel first time, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get the notification of new videos. So till then, stay at home, stay safe. Thank you.